Welcome. I'm Robin Smith, trauma and relationship coach. And today we are talking about the inner work required in order to be able to allow yourself to be intimate and authentic in your relationships. Many women tell me that they want to keep the peace. They're afraid of rejection. And so they play nice and they want to be liked. So they say yes instead of saying no or telling their truth. They don't speak up and they stay silent in order to keep that peace, or they appease in order to avoid rejection or abandonment. You can put a yes in the comment if that is you and you're doing that as well. And I know many women are really afraid of everything blowing up and having an argument and conflict if they're authentic in their relationships, and yet they're missing real authentic connection. They want that. So if that's you, again, you can put a yes, I want authentic connections. But it might be too scary because here's the thing. If you really want to be authentic in your relationships, you can't be withholding part of who you are. You can't be withholding how you feel or what you're thinking. But sharing the truth of these things, it does require transparency, that you reveal your truth. And this revealing your truth, this transparency is going to require some vulnerability. And for many women, that feels really scary to be vulnerable like that. So, but the truth is, if you really want intimacy, you can't have it unless you are vulnerable and you are authentic with people. Intimacy requires this risk. And of course, you want to only take the risk with people that you feel safe with. So you want to be discerning about who's the right person to be vulnerable with and authentic with. Many women come to me and want, or even couples and men come to me wanting good communication skills to help them overcome these relationship challenges, these challenges around, how do I speak up? How do I be more assertive? How do I speak my truth? But as I see it, speaking your truth isn't just about saying it right. It's not really a communication issue because I can give you all the best communication skills. But if you're terrified to speak your truth because you're afraid of this conflict or of being judged or of being rejected or abandoned, then you're probably not going to use those skills. You're going to stay silent and button your lip and pretend everything's fine. Sometimes it's not even wise to take these risks with communication and speaking up if the repercussions are going to be you're really hard on yourself or you're shaming yourself if something doesn't go well, or you take everything really personally, you're really fragile, you feel like nobody likes you, you get depressed or really insecure if you do take a risk. So the thing is, in order to have the fortitude to take risks towards speaking up, being authentic in relationships so you can have more depth and more intimacy, you have to feel strong internally, right? You have to feel okay in yourself so that rejection, which everyone experiences and we can't avoid it, it happens. We can't make sure it doesn't happen. We just can't guarantee that, right? Rejection can happen, but we want to be strong enough internally that it won't take us down if it does happen, or if something goes wrong, we won't be flattened by it or be super depressed or feel like totally unlovable and insecure. And we don't want to be so afraid of speaking up that we stay alone, right? That we never create depth and intimacy with people because we are so terrified. So what's the solution? As I see it, the solution is that you may need to do some inner work in order to build your sense of self and your confidence and a sense of inner security and self-worth, so that you can feel safe enough to take risks towards building deeper connections with people. Because again, it does feel like a risk sometimes if you don't know, we never know the outcome. But the rewards are so great when you're not only more confident internally, but also when you can have real, authentic connections with people where you feel met, you feel heard, you get to feel known. And it's so much deeper and more rewarding and satisfying than staying on the surface by playing nice and trying to keep the peace and saying yes when you want to say no. And because of your fear of rejection or being hurt, or maybe you're afraid someone else will be hurt. So you try to just keep everything cool and copacetic. So this inner work, if you do it, if you do the work to build your inner strength and confidence, it will support any communication skills that you do learn, which might help you to speak your truth and do it in a way that you can be heard and understood and avoid conflict and things like that. So I do teach those skills, but again, this video is for those of you who maybe have the skills but aren't using them because you're too scared of the consequences of being hurt or neglected or rejected or judged and all the things. So for me, I can speak from this place because I've been there too. I had a lot of insecurities earlier in my life, a lot of fears growing up. I didn't feel lovable. I didn't feel likable. I tried hard to do my best so people would like me and include me, and so that I didn't have to feel that hurt of pain and the pain of rejection. And now I'm in a place where I take risks all the time in my relationships because I do feel so much stronger inside, because I've done that inner work to get to a place where I like and love myself, and I feel confident in my lovability, and I feel confident that even if I mess up, I'm going to be okay. It's not going to be the end of the world, and I won't beat myself up either. And that's a really important piece. So many people beat themselves into a pulp when some little thing goes wrong. And so that's another reason, if that's you, that you might be staying away from risky situations. So I'm going to give you a little example of a recent example in my life where I'm in a relationship with a friend, and she has had a recent trauma and an injury to her body, and I was sending her a text, a loving, supportive text, which what I thought was loving and supportive. And there's something that I said at the end that didn't fit for her. And it didn't, she just had a little like, ooh, that didn't feel very good to me. So instead of her keeping the peace and pretending everything was fine, she took the risk to tell me that it didn't feel right, and she didn't take it maybe the way I intended. And instead of me getting really scared and of ruining the relationship or feeling like she wasn't going to like me, like might have happened in the past, or apologizing profusely, I really was so appreciative of her willingness to share her truth about that. And I took it with appreciation and gratitude and realized, thank you. I needed to hear that. I didn't realize that. And I was also able to tell her my intention. And the whole interaction, although it was maybe a little uncomfortable for us both, it brought us even closer because we were able to get through that discomfort, and we were able to share from a truthful place instead of a kind of a smoothing it over and pretending everything's fine and not saying anything. So I hope you find that helpful, and I hope you have found this video helpful. If you are someone who is struggling with feeling good enough or feeling likable or knowing how to speak up because you're afraid of the consequences of rejection or judgment or ruining a relationship, abandonment, but you want to know how to do that, and you want the confidence in how to do that, I hope you get that support for the inner work. And I do happen to have some space in my calendar right now. If you are interested in my support, you can grab a relationship breakthrough session, and there's a link below to get on my calendar for that. It's a free 45-minute session with me where we can look at what's really going on, where you're struggling, how you might be holding yourself back, and where you want to be. And I can show you a path for what you might need to work on or focus on. And I always give a takeaway in that session, so you have something you can be working on. And if you do want to do more work together, we will talk about that in this session. So that's a great free tool for you to get some free time with me, and I can help you out with where your struggles are, and even if it's in other areas of relationship. I love supporting people in all areas of relationship, whether you're single or in a couple, younger or older. So please feel free to reach out and grab a spot on my calendar, and I hope to see you very soon. All the best to you. Take care.